people to come in and visit. This is on our city website, this is on our museum, this is on all Red Village sites, and it's in a book that we bought for vacation this last week as well. And there's 100 ways, places to go visit before you die. And one of them was that. But you know what the other 99 was? People who perpetually take care of their properties.
Vice President of the Third Government. Phase 1 of the new MSO campus is complete, as I understand, and some MSO operations are now moving there. It's a harbinger of the 11th enhanced old maintenance site that is closing. Brook Creek has followed this project for years. We're uniquely situated between the two sites. We're grateful both that MSO will cease the noise and pollution at the old site, and that they listened to our design concerns when they designed the new site. Glad for that. Going forward now, we would like to engage with the Parks Department, specifically the Forestry Division, and with MSO to discuss the disposition of the 11th and Haskell site. Everyone from MSO, Dave Wells, the consultant, and Mark Hecker, Parks and Agriculture, have told us that it will become parkland. But it is 100-year floodplain, and we want some firm commitment that it will be remediated and restored to that function and capacity. Its original nature was either wetlands, or wet prairie, or wet woodland, or combination. It's also the convergence of the Burroughs Creek watershed and the Brook Creek watershed. If ecologically restored, this site would be not only strengthening the Brook Creek neighborhood and East Lawrence neighborhood, but it would also be an ecological gem for the entire city. So we're planning to engage with those departments to see what can be worked on.
Good, Norcross 66046. I want to elaborate on what she's talking about. The cemetery. My grandmother was buried there, and my aunt was buried there, and my uncle has to go out weeding around it. Those headstones, so far we haven't had any damages to the headstones. That cemetery doesn't look good. I mean, as for the cemetery that the city's been in charge of for a long time, and they took over Memorial Park Cemetery because its use of funds wasn't getting taken care of and everything. It just doesn't look good on the city that took that away, and they're doing the same thing to the cemetery that they've been maintaining for a lot of years. It's kind of disrespectful to, you know, the people that's buried there don't know, but the people that's still around, it doesn't feel too good when you got loved ones that's buried there, and you expect for the premises to be taken care of by the groundskeeper, and then it looks really bad when you say, well, it's the city of Lawrence. You know, that don't look good. It does not look good for the city at all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Flowers, and I have a couple of things to talk about. The first, I saw some of the meeting from the other week, and it was about the homeless video, I guess. And I just want to say, if y'all want to look again at our homeless response, I guess, I'm okay with that. But the thing is, if we're going to talk about the homeless in our city, I want us to look at something else, and that is it okay for the homeless to camp on public land? And that was something that the Supreme Court looked at, and I believe it was, if it's constitutional to to tear down someone's camp if there's no available housing. And the Supreme Court said you can do it, but it was divided strictly by Democrat and Republican. So I just want to throw that out there that if we're okay with tearing down homeless people's camps, I'm against that. I fully support the Democrat justices when they said it should be unconstitutional. I believe they might be set rule. And so if you all are going to be looking at the homeless response again, how we're treating the homeless, I hope you all look at that. And I hope we get rid of it. If it is, I believe it's in our rules that camping's illegal, and there's no provision if the shelter's full or not. But I mean, it's something the Supreme Court did say cities could set their own rules. So I just want to throw that out there. We can make changes. But anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is we need to have in speed bumps. We need to have emergency the access where a fire truck can drive over the speed bump without going over the hump. Some of them have them, some of them don't. And it's just ridiculous because I was out delivery driving in West Lawrence, and it's way out there. One of the areas we're saying, well, we need to increase speed, like this new fire station we're building, we gotta build it because every second counts. Yet, in the same areas you're saying we're having trouble getting the fire trucks there in time, you're building speed bumps that have no access, so it's slowing the fire trucks down. So I just want to point that out. Not all speed bumps have those emergency access for the fire trucks. Thank you.
Anyone else in the room?
Eric Hyde, 66046. These are not my words. When I saw, this is the worst part in the rest that I put. I believe it was 2 nights ago. There was a sandbar block party, and the headliner and music act was named Disco Dick and the Meatballs. And I was wondering, do you think it's appropriate to suspend the next 8th Street block party? I mean, were you aware that you guys approved a liquor license for that? Just a very quick, I'm not accused. And then I just wanted to mention again, NBC Leo, National Black Caucus of locally elected officials or local elected officials. Would you think I'd be racist if I was commissioner and I got the city to pay for me to attend a national white caucus of locally elected officials? And then my other question is, do you think it's fair that South Park, one of our most pristine parks in Lawrence, but other parks in the city are not? And can we please take down the Congolese soccer banner on City Hall? That, the arts and director of culture, whatever his name is, Porter O'Neill, masterminded. Originally against the photographer Gary Mark Smith's original wishes. Saw that in the paper. He's just like, no, we gotta have it. Can we just take that down? I mean, give us over. Can we just take it down? And I want to talk about the homeless thing. I like Chris Flowers, but I live near Naismith Park, and the homeless are back there, and no, We should not have homeless camps in our city. They should be sanctioned if they are. People don't like them. It's not, people don't like walking in parks with homeless people camping. I'm not really against them, just like, they just don't like it. I don't like it. I was threatened to be murdered by one. That was insinuated while I was taking care of Mason Park once, which is why I quit. Can we please not allow that? Thank you.
Anyone in the room? Anyone in?
Patrick Ross, 66049. This is called The Environment of Lawrence, Maryland. The Kansas Geological Survey is 162 years old. Its motto is service through science. Do you know your too stable number? Have you ever heard of contamination forward models or aquifer water quality assessment? Can you zip like sand? The University of Illinois has fully hydrogen-powered buses. The Ogallala Aquifer could be preserved through the purchasing of additional water rights and retirement of certain amounts. Did you know we have million-year-old water? Our soil was formed by the edge of glacier. Kansas Senate Bill 98 was passed during the final hours of the 2025 Kansas legislative session, allowing for complete tax abatement on the construction of new data centers without requiring any building provisions to protect surrounding communities. There are 4 proposed hyperscale data centers between Lawrence and Kansas City. The state of Kansas will not protect us. Lawrence will need to protect itself through implementing an environmental policy framework. A recently held meeting focusing on the unhoused of Lawrence, attended by both city and county commissioners, used footage of unhoused individuals from the streets of Baltimore and the racial undertones of a predominantly black city to somehow argue the ineffectiveness of a place for everyone. The meeting centered around a report generated by fellow panelist John Ennis. Members of the community were sent email invitations to the meeting by Randy Swain, who was the last person to speak at the meeting and who has directly financed 2 of the attending commissioners' campaigns. Both John and Randy are members of the Coalition of Collaborative Governance, and who both voiced complaints to Commissioner Dever about this very issue at a coalition meeting that I personally attended. It is my understanding, having gone to numerous coalition meetings, that the coalition advocates for both transparency and accountability. As members central to this meeting, I publicly call that you reveal who made this callous video, because it was very clearly a misrepresentation of the hardworking men and women in our community who are working to address problems that we did not create and that other communities are turning to us to solve. The organizers of this meeting would lead you to believe that we should no longer fund a place for everyone. In all your number crunching, what solutions have you come up with that do not revolve around the budget and property taxes? Why were service providers not invited? Why are we referring to other commissioners as, quote, legacy commissioners, end quote, and claiming that they are not engaged on the issue? Additionally, planning commissioners aren't negotiating on behalf of the community. Hit pieces are written by editors-in-chiefs. Landlords complain about affordability and ignore championing measures to make life more affordable for Lawrence's majority demographic, renters, who comprise 55% of our community. Market rate housing only services buyers outside of Lawrence. If you want housing to be affordable for Lawrenceans, developers need to build affordable housing projects. This is where the lack of negotiating from planning commissioners hurts our community. These are the games being played in Lawrence. Zeus's law has been broken, the campaign is over, it's time to govern. We, the Lotus Eaters, demand constructive ideas above the meager offerings to the gods of complaints and blame. Thank you very much. See you again.
Anyone in the back? Turn the left.
Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Excuse me. Wow, here we are. And I'm doing my best. Can you please help me understand why you let that man across the way send out a piece of trash video? And then after several emails that I've just sent off, all of a sudden it changes. I'm trying to tell myself it's because it's just early in the meeting, but I don't think it's that way at all. Additionally, I received a kickback email from Ms. Wallace. She's not on the job. I mean, she's away. She's not in town. That's all good. But why do you let this man treat the public like this? this market rate paid employee. I'm market rate paid too, and I expect money for all of this work I do finding this stuff. I don't like doing it. I really don't. It's just that you come across this and you go, why is this going on? Other than the unmitigated arrogance and lack of civil service thinking. Absolutely incredible. It did improve. You all got emails to it too, here in the last little minute or two. At any rate, when can we have an update, please, with the police in relation to their spying on the public through the FUSIS program? You know, that went on, it's gone on for months. And the last thing that occurred, you guys ordered the police department to do something about it. And they didn't do diddly squat. They had a meeting at the, library on April 16th or thereabouts, but there have been no reports coming in here. Why are you people so adamant about allowing our own police force to spy on us in an unregulated manner? I'm all for utilization of technology. And you know, just for fun, I had a 2-hour wonderful telephone conversation with Mr. Bobby Scott, the gentleman who was here last week from Alabama. And you know what? In his town, they're using their cameras in order to generate revenue. Now, we have no police enforcement of traffic regulations in this town with the speeding and the accidents and all this and all that, but we're worried about license plate reading to trap the Taliban down? Jesus Christ, I was going to use another term, but you know, just for this meeting, I'll hold it back. I don't understand why you people allow this to happen. I understand that you think it's all going on, but it's not. I'm talking about the video now. I'm back to the video. Okay, I'll comment later on in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on that?
That's it.
Anybody else in the room one more time? With that ends public comment. We'll take a recess until 5:45 and we'll continue in 18 minutes.